All right, our next game in tonight's doubleheader about to get underway in just about 8 minutes, and it's going to be a very similar game to the one we just watched. It's going to be another agility team versus a more bashy team, and tonight it's going to be the Real American Heroes versus the Dead Poets, Dead Fred versus S Beaver, Dark Elves this time versus Undead. The home team this evening, the Real American Heroes, coming in at 1,210,000 gold. In TV, they have a 12-player roster. Well, they have 12 players on the roster. One's going to be benched here. Gung Ho, injured with just a missing next game. Just not feeling so well today. 4 blitzers on this roster. You got to have the 4 blitzers. I would argue you got to have the 2 witch elves. He has those as well. The Baroness and Scarlet, each with dodge, friendly, and jump up. It's frenzy. I called it friendly. It's not friendly at all. Duke, the runner, has dump off and leader. We have not seen dump off used yet, but leader, a good skill to pick up on a player like Duke. This is basically another reroll, a cheap reroll. So a great skill pickup here for the Real American Heroes. This is going to effectively bring their rerolls up to 3. They will lose that extra reroll if Duke is removed from the pitch, but being the most protected player on the roster, not terribly likely to happen. He'll also be the one with the biggest target on his back, however. He's going to be up against this Undead team tonight. The Dead Poets. They're coming in a TV of 1,295,000 gold. I don't remember the difference. I think it was 85,000 gold difference in petty cash that will be going to the Dark Elves tonight. I imagine that might be a keg. We'll see what he decides to pick up. 2 mummies, 2 blitzers, 3 ghoul runners, and a whole bunch of linemen, 1 cheerleader, 1 assistant coach, 4 dedicated fans, and a big old 4 rerolls. These 2 mummies, level 2, he's picked up guard. I think this is a great pickup for these mummies. These mummies are strength 5 with mighty blow. These are the big guys on an undead team. And you may notice they don't have a nega trait. These are friendly frenzy. I'd argue it's the same. I think you're right. They don't have a nega trait. They're very slow with an MA of 3, but with that strength of 5 and guard here, they are really going to be able to control the pitch. These mummies are going to stay grouped up if S Beaver can at all help it. He's going to be effectively making these strength 6 blocks, and average strength is 3. So if you look at this Dark Elf team, everyone is a strength of 3, which means if they don't have an assist, just 1 assist for those paired up mummies is going to be a 3-die mummy mighty blow block for S Beaver. So Dead Fred's going to have to really be careful and watch out for that. These mummies might be set up on the line, but if they do, they're going to be stuck there for the entire drive. You might see S Beaver on defense, maybe put them into a linebacker position so he can move them where he wants to be. Again, they're MA3. They're not very fast. If Dead Fred can take the block on a mummy, can get the 2-die or maybe even a 1-die block on the mummies don't have the block skill, and knock down a mummy, that'll be huge. It costs 3 MA to stand up. The mummies only have 3 MA. A knockdown mummy is basically stunned unless he wants to rush. So S Beaver's going to have to watch out for that. These mummies are a big part of this game. And then the ghoul runners, of course, another big part of this game. He has 2 that are blodgers. 1 has sidestep. 1 has sure hands. Joplin will be the receiver on the kickoff receive team. Of course, I guess they're the same teams, right? There's no offense and defense. We'll be picking this ball up off the ground, and then Hendricks here can be a handoff or a pass target. Can even be a harasser, right? Like a blitzer. He has the block skill, lots of speed. Is a blodger, so only Powell's going to knock down. And more importantly, sidestep means that Hendricks is going to go wherever S Beaver wants him to go. A real nuisance player. A good combination of skills here, in my opinion. These zombie linemen, don't count them out. They are they don't do anything. They're MA of 4, which is fine. A strength of 3. What they do? What they do? What do they do? They take hits, right? They take hits. You have standard strength, which is great, which means if you get the block, if you get the knockdown, good for you. If not, no sweat. They're cheap players, and they have regen. Regen means that if they sustain a casualty, a 4+ means no, they don't. In fact, every player except for the ghouls on this team have regen, a very, very strong trait to have on this roster. A ton of rerolls. and put some money into the assistant coaches and cheerleaders as well. Clearly praying to Nuffle. Clearly wants another reroll. I would argue maybe that's giving up a bit too much money to the opposing team, but not so. At least not in this matchup, not so. So we'll see if this staff works out for SBeaver tonight. But this team, this is a bashy team. He's going to be trying to apply that Mighty Blow and all this block against this Dark Elf team, and really wants to try to get the blocks out of those mummies and start getting the player advantage out of the mummies. The problem is this isn't a Wood Elf team, right? This is a Dark Elf team. So they have Strength 3 and AV 9. Now, AV 9 is not AV 8. It's a big difference. And 4 blitzers, 3 of which are blodgers. Dead Fred has a really good roster here tonight. All 4 blitzers, that gives him the block skills he desperately needs. 3 of which are blodgers, which remember means only a PAL is going to knock those players down. And then the 2 Witch Elves, they have Dodge, Frenzy, and Jump Up. So if a Witch Elf gets knocked down, they can stand back up, no problem. They have not lost 3 MA. If a Witch Elf gets knocked down, no problem. They can stand up. If they roll a die, they can block instead of blitz as well. And of course, Frenzy means that the sidelines are going to be dangerous, or the two columns near the sidelines are going to be dangerous spaces for the opposing team. SBeaver's going to have to be real careful of putting a player, of putting a ghoul or an important player out in those outer 2 columns of the pitch, because a Witch Elf with an MA of 7, with Jump Up, and with Frenzy means that they can very easily surf you and remove you off the pitch. Again, Dead Fred is an Edge team, Edge 2+, but with this extra point of AV makes him a little more resilient, and he has all these players with block. We'll see Dead Fred maybe not be so afraid like we saw with the Wood Elf team of taking the marks, right? That Wood Elf team doesn't want to end up marked and getting beat up on the next turn. This Dark Elf team might get a little aggressive. They don't want to get super aggressive, but they might get a little aggressive because most of the players have average AV and 4 of them have block. So this is more like a humanesque style of blitzer, right? So Dead Fred really has options if he wants to get aggressive. If he wants to start picking players off, he can do that much more easily than the Wood Elf team does. He doesn't have to back off and keep his defense intact. He can get aggressive. He has the speed to get behind the offense or get behind the defense if he wants to. SBeaver's going to have to watch out for that as well. 2 very good coaches here tonight. Edge versus Bash, but again, Dark Elves, they tend to be a little more aggressive and more of a running elf, I guess. I think the passing game isn't quite what it was in the old game, so I don't know what it means to really be a running elf, but watch out for their aggression, right? They have that option. SB Beaver says, wow, I just noticed he's level 100. I'm level 12, baby. All right. About to get this second game in our doubleheader tonight underway. Don't see either coach in Discord, but I know they're around, so I think this game's about to get started. Here we go, getting this game underway. Who's this Real American Heroes? Looks like... Is this Clear Skies? I guess this is Clear Skies. I love this pitch, by the way. This is great. I love the water. Two solid rosters up against each other tonight. S-Beaver's really going to have to watch out for that aggressive pivot by Dead Fred. And can't really get into a comfort zone where he's like, oh, I'm like, whoa, where'd everybody go? Oh no. Can't really get into a comfort zone saying, oh, I'm up against elves. I'm just going to beat them to a pulp. Gotta be careful. Here's the point. Oh. I guess nothing happened in the inducement phase? Real American Heroes are going to win the coin toss here. Might go on defense to start with. Nope, they're going to go on offense to start. No inducements taken. 4 rerolls for the Dead Poets. Remember, they get 1 out of their... Real American Heroes are going to get 1 out of their leader. Dead Poets have picked up 4. They're setting up in an anchor formation with both mummies on the line here. Still missing a player off their depth chart. Jones, the ghoul runner. Three ghoul runners on this roster. You can pick up 4, and most undead coaches will inevitably pick up 4. These are really great pieces on an undead team, right? You have a lot of slower players, MA3, MA4. I think your blitzers are a 6. But then you have these ghoul runners that are MA7. They come with dodge. You can pick up blodge and make them a blodger. You can sidestep. You can kit them out however you really want. And having 4 of these guys can really strengthen an undead team. Too wide, neither wide zone. Giving up those sidelines. He's being sure to stay out of these outer 2 columns. He's afraid of these witch elves. Staying shallow here in his defense. I think I want a hamburger. I want a hamburger. Currently 4 players on this offensive line, down to 3 now. Shifted to the left. 2 of these blitzers, and 1 of the linemen with dodge. Dodge does 2 things for you in this game. Dodge means a defender stumbles result is against you is treated as a push. It also means that if you fail a dodge, you get a free reroll with it. No kickers in tonight's game, so the Real American Heroes can get away with 1 kickoff return player, and that will almost certainly be Duke. Duke with that leader skill, but also has the dump off skill. Dump off means that if Duke's about to eat a block, he can try to pass this ball off to someone else first. He interrupts the action. This kick. Very shallow kick. Oh boy. Bad habits. D3 opposition players without the loner trait available for this drive gain the loner +2 until the end of this drive. Who won this? I can't read this. I can't read this die. This it's 6-2. So the Real American Heroes won this. So who on the Dead Poets? Joplin. Oof. Oof. That's not who you want a loner +2 on. So in this version, oh boy, and the ball kicked very shallow. Ball in the hands of Zamet, the number 7 Dark Elf lineman he's the left end here on the offensive line. So the school runner now has a +2. In this version of the rules, cheerleaders and coaches work differently on the kickoff event table. Assistant coaches, you still have the brilliant coaching event, which is still the +1 reroll, but now the cheering fans instead of doing the same thing, but using cheerleaders instead of coaches. It allows you to roll in the prayers to Nuffle table, and that does all sorts of things. So for the rest of this drive, the school runner has a loner +2, which is, boy, really don't want that on one of your ghouls. I mean, you don't really want it on anyone, but this is a player who's going to be chucking some dice. And loner +2 means that you will not be re-rolling any of those dice on this player unless it's make or break. One die block at the line of scrimmage here is going to be a skull unless he re-rolls it. Move the ball back to his own 14-yard line, decides that that's going to be the end of the drive, and that's a turnover. First block of the game results in a turnover. Deliberated on the use of the re-roll, said, nah, I'm good. That mummy says, get. Not a bad one-die block here because Hawk had the block skill. The mummy did not. It just didn't work out. Turn one now, back to the Dead Poets. 2-die block on Zartan. Will have to be a push. Could be, I know it couldn't be. He's blocking with the lineman. Let's say he could have taken both standing result, but it wouldn't have been that. And now a 2-die block by the mummy will get a knockdown. Has Mighty Blow. So effectively an 8+ on the armor roll. It doesn't get it. That's all elf blocks should go. 2-die blitz by the other mummy, gets a POW here. So right out of the gate, he's splitting up his mummies here. Dead Fred might try to leverage this. He can. Well, it's going to depend on where the defense goes, but. Of being marked, but by having them grouped together, it's effectively they're each strength 6 mummies at that point, and that can make them a real pain in the butt to deal with. 18 seconds left on the clock here in turn 1 for the Dead Poets. Advances across the line of scrimmage. Over in the left wide zone, hesitating to do so in the right. Boy, that MA4 zombie getting a little aggressive there on the left wide zone. Still pretty far away from the ball. Turn 2 for the Real American Heroes. Ball in the hands of Zemet, the number 7 lineman. Might try to hand off to Duke. Might try to keep it in the hands of this lineman. And level him up some more. He's already a level 2 and has the dodge skill. Has Snake Eyes to stand up. Might wait until the end of the turn if he wants to dodge Snake Eyes away. Another option, not right now, but another option against these mummies if they're being a problem in the drive is to take a mark with the mummy on the opposite side that you want the mummy to go. So let's say the ball carrier is here, and you don't want the mummy to come this way. So instead you take a mark here or here. That mummy's not going to dodge away. So if that mummy wants to block and get the free follow-up out of it, he's going this way. Otherwise he's spending a point on the blitz. It's a knockdown here, doesn't break armor. 20 seconds left in turn 2 for the Real American Heroes. 2-die block against the number 16 lineman. This will work out due to the block skill and gets a stun. The way blocks work in Blood Bowl is you have to roll basically 3 times, up to 3 times. You'll roll your block dice first to see the results of your block. If you knock down the player you're blocking, then you'll roll on the injury table. And then if you roll a casualty on that table, you'll roll on the casualty table. Injuries, so when you get a knockdown, you roll 2d6, and if you meet or exceed their AV level, so in this case here, Alexander has an AV of 9+, so it'll take a 9 or higher on a 2d6 to break armor. If you do, you roll on the injury table, and that can be one of 3 results: a stun, a KO, or a casualty. A stun means that they lose a turn, but they stay on the pitch. A KO will remove them from the pitch at the beginning of every drive. Every knocked out player will roll a d6, and all things being equal, a 4+ will bring them back into the reserve box for that drive. Otherwise, they'll stay in the KO box. And the third thing is a casualty. This is what you might hear me refer to as quote-unquote injuries. These are the things that break arms, crush skulls, and kill opponents or make them miss the next game. Turn 2 for the Dead Poets. No ball movement by this Elvish team. Choosing not to go towards the line of scrimmage and try to stall maybe further back with the ball. Giving himself some distance between this slower team. This is a way he can try to keep his players safer without stalling in a scrum up toward the opposing side end zone. A minute down on the clock here in turn 2. Dead Poets have moved Harrison the Mummy over to Mark Destro, number 1 Blodger Blitzer. .33 seconds left on the clock. Takes a mark on that downfield lineman Flint, number 9 lineman, downfield in the left wide zone, marked by Hendricks. That's the sidestep Blodger Ghoul. .15 seconds on the clock. Blitz declared here. Might be trying to blitz down Flint. He is. 2-die blitz on Flint. Gets a push out of this. Pushes Flint toward the sideline. Remember, he's an elf. If he dodges toward the sideline, it's 2+ dodge. Real American Heroes on turn 3. One of the Witch Elves is over in the right wide zone. One is covering the ball carrier. Oh, check out this cheerleader. Let's check her out. Let's check her out. Let's check her out. I don't even care what the die result is. It's a pal. Hey. Breaks armor here. Got a KO. Got a KO over on the left side of the pitch. I don't even know what that cheerleader is. Like, is that a dryad? Shifts that right side Witch Elf, the Baroness, over to the left. Witch Elves have an MA of 7. Gets a pal on Alexander, the number 12 Zombo. Another KO here. Well done by the Real American Heroes. 2-man player advantage now for the Real American Heroes. Doug Gunter says, GG and good luck in this game, coaches. What a sportsman. 10 seconds left here in turn 3. No movement by the Real American Heroes with the ball. Ball's currently on their own 18-yard line. Good 2+ dodge by Destro. One of these 3 blodgers. Real American Heroes back on the bonus clock. 6 minutes, 25 seconds left. 2+ dodge to a 2-die blitz against Cobain, the number 5 blitzer. He'll get the knockdown here. This is the blitzer who's marking Flint, the downfield elf lineman. Repositions that blitzer. When you blitz, that's basically a move and a block all in one turn. You can only do it once a turn. And when you take the block, it counts as one of your movement points. So with 7 MA, when you take the block, you're down to 6 actual MA of movement. But what you can do, and new coaches, new players to the game often forget this, is if you still have MA left after your block, you can keep moving. So it's often good to use a blitz to move in, get the assist, or make the block, and then reposition that blitzer to where they're most effective. Now the ball's going to move forward over to the left wide zone on the Real American Heroes own 6-yard line. Failed 2+ dodge in the right wide zone. He won't re-roll this. No reason to. And turn 3 for the Dead Poets now. Boot Polish talking to his fellow work coach, says, I'll be sure to sacrifice one of my own pieces tomorrow for your lineman. It's very thoughtful of you, Boot Polish. I don't know why you do that, but that's, you know what, that's very thoughtful, very kind of you to sacrifice your own players like that. Who am I kidding? I'm going to lose 7 players tomorrow. Turn 3 for the Dead Poets. Proof this league is corrupt. Dead Poets applying a little bit of pressure here on the right side here. They've got to be careful that they don't get left behind. They're locking down Destro here, but Destro again is an elf. 2+ dodge to safety, and now suddenly this MA4 lineman finds himself out of the drive. The rest of the defense here repositioning the columns in front of the offense, giving up that sideline, terrified of that witch elf. He's going to have to rethink that if this elf team gets any closer to the end zone, then he won't be able to give up that sideline. Unless he wants to give up a touchdown. 2-die Mummy Blitz on Tomax gets a push here. And again, not to belabor this point too much, and it can be difficult and it can be tricky, and there are different tactics you want to take, but by having these mummies grouped together and having them strength 6, again, look, the average strength is 3. So if you have 2 mummies grouped together, then 1 assist is going to give you a 3-die block with Mighty Blow. By not having them grouped up, like, oh, failed the rush. Spends the reroll, spends one of the 15 rerolls, and now has those mummies grouped up, but they're only an MA of 3. So, Real American Heroes here on turn 4, they might sacrifice a player, leave a player here tying these guys up, move this ball down pitch. Could even shift back to the right and be in a pretty good positioning, provided the dodges work out. Yeah, you can see S. Beaver there grouping those mummies up there. He recognizes the value of that card on these high strength players. Problem with the 2-die block with the mummy is Mighty Blow is great, but you don't have the block skills, so it's more risky than it seems. Starts off the turn standing up Shipwreck to take a mark on Thane. The number 13 lineman also is going to lend the assist for the inevitable block with Destro. Gets an assist for the block against Farazmand. I don't know who that is. 2-9 Black gets pal here. I understand these are all musicians of some sort, but I've never heard of this. I don't know who that is. So I fear I'm mispronouncing the name. Ten seconds left for the Real American Heroes. So down to 5 minutes, 21 seconds on the bonus clock. Looks like they want to shift this ball back to the right. Yeah, there's good dodge. This is what we were talking about if the dogs work out. Well, also if the dodges work out here, yeah. Be in pretty good shape. Dodge blitz against Morrison, the number 4 blitzer. Gets a pal here with the Witch Elf. Has to follow up due to Frenzy, but because he took a blitz, he can reposition this Witch Elf. That's exactly what he does. Woof. Has one more dodge to take here with Zamet, but probably wants to move Scarlet first. Under 5 minutes on the bonus clock for the Real American Heroes. Two-die block on Thane. That was that first mark of the turn. We'll get the knockdown. Looking for a 9+. Doesn't get it. That's okay. Because these zombies have an MA of 4. You knock them down. When they stand back up, they're only going to have an MA of 1. Good dodge by Zamet, the ball carrier. He's going to dodge laterally back to the right. And in comes the Witch Elf to help cover the ball carrier. Oh, he is going to dodge away from those mummies. Wow. I thought for sure he'd stay marked. Flint, the number 9 Dark Elf's going to move back to the right now as well. Now threatening a pass or a handoff with both the Baroness and Flint. They're both in scoring position. Turn 4 now for the Dead Poets. Final turn of this first quarter. Safety Ghoul, Jones, number 9. This is the non-blodger Ghoul. He's going to take a mark on that Witch Elf. Takes a mark on Flint. He's scared of these downfield players, as he should be, but needs better protection. Like, the one mark really isn't going to cut it. Gets Hendrix into position here. Hendrix, a safety. But again, the handoff can easily score. Blitz with Lennon, the number 2 mummy gets a pal here against Duke. The leader himself, can he remove him from the pitch? He cannot. Takes a mark on the ball carrier. Yeah, I thought he would have kept those mummies marked so that if anybody was moving, it would just be one of them. Trundles over with Harrison. Takes a mark on Hawk. Turn 5 now. Second quarter begins. The Real American Heroes with the ball on their own 6. Ball carrier is currently marked by a mummy, but it's a 2+ dodge away to safety. failed the rush by the Real American Heroes. They're going to re-roll this. Use the re-roll. And then rushed again to get the assist against Jones. Could be a handoff to the Baroness. Surprised he hasn't stood up Duke, but he must be planning to dodge Duke away, which makes total sense. Good 2+ dodge. Like Destro. Might not want to score here. It looks like he's going to cage up on the 8 instead of going for it with the Witch Elf. And we'll block with the Witch Elf instead. The problem is that Witch Elf has Frenzy and will have to follow up. So if he wants this cage tight, that Witch Elf is more than likely not going to be on the corner. Takes the 2-die block with the Witch Elf. Got the PAL here. He'll have to follow up. But that'll be the end of that block. This might be it. I think he might be okay with everything else. Other than Duke. Sets up with the 2-die against Morrison. Gets a push out of this. He'll follow up here. I believe that'll be the turn. Oh, took the 1-die. Took the 1-die to really try to take Morrison out. He'll have to follow up here as well. But now he's going to free up Cobain. Good dodge by Flint. Turn 5. Back to the Dead Poets. Tie ball game currently. Ball in the opposing 8-yard line, the right wide zone. In the hands of Zamet. One of the Crimson Guard twins. Joplin, that loader +2 cool runner. Blodger with sure hands, taking a fearless mark on Destro, also a Blodger. Rushes to take a mark on the Baroness. Baroness is a little forward and to the left of the ball currently. There's that 3-die block with the Mummy. It's going to get the knockdown here. 8+ with Mighty Blow. Oh, didn't get the knockdown because that's a Blodger. Didn't get the knockdown because that's a Blodger. Moves the number 2 Mummy back toward this ball. He's going to tie up Duke and Tomax, but I don't really think he's going to get a whole lot out of this. We'll see. Now a 2-die block by the number 16 lineman against that Blodger, that blitzer that was just blocked by the first Mummy. Will be a push. Blitz in the front right corner of the cage here. Got the PAL that he was looking for. Can he break armor? Imagine he'll stay put. Yeah. He does indeed. Can't break armor. Decides to mark the ball carrier with the blitzer. Ball carrier now marked by Hendricks. A sidestepping, blodging ghoul. 1-die block against Duke. Gets the knockdown. Can't break armor. And then the zombie who was left behind gonna try to get into play here. Spends a reroll, takes a mark on Snake Eyes. Turn 6 now for the real American heroes. Might see him try to knock down the school runner and move to the left. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Gets a push out of this. Oh, push the school runner the other direction. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Now reposition Flint. That's going to open up a lane here for the lineman, probably on the blitz. Two-dive block on Thane. That's that rushing zombie that came up behind the cage. Broke armor here. Got a great stun out of this. Thane's not going to be a problem effectively for the rest of the half. Hands off to Scarlet the Witch Elf. MA7. Failed the first dodge, has to re-roll this. There it is. And now Scarlet is going to be down at the 20-yard line. Flint will come in to cover as well. Hands off to the Witch Elf. Handed off that Witch Elf because she has Blodge and an extra point of MA. And gets 2 players covering the Witch Elf. Remember, the Witch Elf is here on the 20. 3 players covering the Witch Elf now. Two good 2+ dodges there. Hawk gets into position to try to cover as well. Fails the final dodge here. Won't re-roll this, I wager. Yep. Turn 6 back to the dead poets. The elves got by this defense, but they tend to do that. Dead poets at this point might try to get some player advantage. You can see they've removed nobody on this elf team. It's going to make it real hard to decide what to do for the second half. Joplin. Remember, loner +2 on this player for the rest of the drive. He's going to move in toward Scarlet. Scarlet's looks like she's here, but she's actually here. 2-die block on Cobain. I'm sorry, against Shipwreck by Cobain will be a knockdown. Looking for the Kazes. Not gonna get one here. Oh my goodness! Took a 5+ dodge. Succeeded on the dodge of the uphill blitz. Re-rolled the blitz, but it's just going to be a push. Man, I would have taken them both down. I would have taken them both down. Oh wait, it was uphill. It was uphill. Turn 7 for the Real American Heroes. I would not have taken the boat down. 5+ dodge to get in there for the blitz. Got the dodge, but unfortunately couldn't get the dice he was looking for on the blitz. Too high block on that blitzing ghoul. Get the knockdown here. Doesn't get the removal. Real American Heroes might stall this out till turn 8. We'll see. Looks like he's going to do exactly that. Ball now on the opposing 24-yard line in the hands of that Witch Elf. Witch Elf with Wrestles, Scarlet. She has, they come with Jump Up, they come with Frenzy, they come with Dodge, and she has Wrestle. That means on a both down result, she can choose to have both players go prone. Basically, both players get knocked down, but there's no armor break, and it's not a turnover. This is a good way to keep fragile players safe. Runs Duke away to safety. The runner. That's his leader, remember. He doesn't want to lose that leader and then lose that extra reroll. Failed dodge. Rolled snake eyes on that. You have the dodge skill. Fail the dodge. Fail 2+ dodge. Free reroll. And only fail it on another one. On another one. Turn 7 now for the Dead Poets. Took the blitz to get the mark and ask for much more. Real American Heroes are still going to have a reroll left. Won't need the reroll on the dodge. The ball carrier has the dodge skill. Die block by that mummy. Gets a knockdown. 8+. Can't get it. Mighty Blow gives you +1 to your armor or your injury roll. Two rushes to bring Cobain in. I don't know what the value of these rushes are. I guess the blitz coming back to take out this Baroness as the assist. Final turn for the Real American Heroes. The first order of business is to move Duke just in case. Just in case anything goes wrong here. Let's run Duke away. Maybe run Tomax away unless he can do something. Nope, just gonna score. Well done. 1-0, the Real American Heroes are gonna take the lead. Why bother with all that when you know you're gonna score a TD? Well done. One KO coming back for the Dead Poets, but remember, this is the final turn of the first half, so they're going to get another shot at getting back that final KO'd player. Real American Heroes set up their defense, going to put everybody back. by the end zone. They have to put 3 on the line. That's exactly what they're doing. The 11v11 here. The Dead Poets will get 1 shot to beat up this line unless there's a timeout, and then they'll get an extra turn. Food Polish says, surely Nuffle sees the value of 3 injured elves on turn 8. 5-man offensive line for the Dead Poets. The way they've set up, they're going to try to get 3 2-die blocks across the line. Surprised they're not putting a ghoul on the line here, or a ghoul in the wide zone, just in case they get a timeout. 8-man, 9 players on the line for this offense. All right, well, they technically have a ghoul on the line. We'll see if they get the timeout. Nope. The dead all cruel Nuffle. The ball's kicked all the way to the 24-yard line, but Nuffle grants the Dead Poets an extra reroll in this final turn. Got the pal here. Taking the 3-die on Tomax here. Got the pal. Got an injury out of it. Well done. That's what you want to see as an undead coach. See if you can do it again. 3-die block on Shipwreck. Got another pal here. Mighty Blow again will make this an AV 8+. And if he doesn't need it on the armor roll, he'll get it on the injury roll. Can't break armor. Is he going to dare to foul? I can't imagine he will. Looks like he's going to try to pass with Jones to get some SPP on Jones. Here comes the pass. 50-50 pass, good catch, and that's an SPP on the Ghoul Runner. Well done. Sending players down pitch just to be intimidating. The Dead Poets are going to be on offense to start the second half of this game. They're behind 0-1. Did not get back the other KO'd player. So going to be down, crucially, I believe that's a ghoul. Nope, it's a zombie. All right, that's fine. Well, we can live with that. So now the Dead Poets really have a choice to make. Are they playing for the draw or the tie, right? So now they can try to stall this out until turn 16, but then it's a draw game 1-1. Or they can try to win this game. The problem is, they're down a touchdown. They do not have a player advantage. Not a significant one, anyway. I think they have 11. Yeah, they'll have a one-man player advantage here. I think on this upcoming drive, they're really going to need to maximize their blocks, try to remove some of these elves, and then see if they can turn the tide in their favor. Then maybe they can try for the win. Three-man defensive line. Shallow defense for the Real American Heroes. Giving up either sideline. They have the speed. That's okay. Now on offense, they're setting up their the Dead Poets are setting up their line. Four rerolls. Base to base on the line. 5 players on the line. One wide tight end over on the left. I guess it's not really a wide tight end. I guess 6 on the line, strong on the right. Here's kick. 4 players on the blitz here for the Real American Heroes. They can get a player under this ball. Ball's been kicked to the 14. 4 unmarked players get to take a free turn here. Dead Fred really considering what he wants to do here. Does he want to try to snake this ball? And if he does, how's he going to keep it safe? If he can snake this ball and keep it safe for a turn, he'll be in real good shape to win this ball game. These 4 here, yeah. These 4 here. These are the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. "32 seconds left here in this blitz action. 2-die blitz with the Baroness. Both standing or a push. Push into a 1-die. Both standing. It's going to be a both standing result here. 12 seconds. Good 2+ dive. 7 seconds on the clock. 4 seconds. 1 more rush. All right. Dipping back into the bonus clock. Just 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the bonus clock. Failed the catch here. Only moved 3 players, I believe there. 1, 2, 3. And now it's going to be a fist fight for the ball on turn 16, on the 16-yard line here for the Dead Poets. It's on their own 16-yard line, just inside the left wide zone. Dead Poets trying to figure out how to fight for the ball here. I'm going to send a blitzer back. This is Cobain to get into the action here. Two-die blitz on Hawk. The blitzer got the POW that he wanted. Follows up, frees up the ball now to be picked up by Joplin. It'll be a 3+ pickup with a free reroll thanks to Sure Hands. First going for the block on Snake Eyes. Gets a push out of this. Goes for the both down result instead. Snake Eyes is going to stay in place. 3 plus pickup works out. Plenty of movement left with Joplin. And we'll move the ball carrier up to the 6-yard line. Back at center. So now these elves over on the left are a little out of position, but they're not too bad because they have the speed advantage. So they can just boop back out and regroup with the rest of the defense. It's an official term, boop. Boop back out. 2-die block on the line against Flint, the number 9 lineman. Gets push. Breaks armor. Doesn't get a push, gets a pow, rather. Gets a stun out of it. Trying to push players away to keep this ball carrier a little safer. But a number of elves can threaten the ball carrier. 1 push on the first block. Now Lennon the Mummy. A push here against Shipwreck. Right in front of the ball carrier. Decides to follow up. And that'll be the end of the turn. Turn 9 now, back to the Real American Heroes. They have just 2 minutes 31 seconds left on their bonus clock. Still have a full stack of 3 rerolls. But remember, one of those is coming from Duke. If Duke gets removed, Real American Heroes will lose that reroll. Plus dodge by the Baroness. Every single one of these elves has an AG of 2 plus. The AG 2 plus dodge with the dodge skill means there's just a 1 in 36 chance of failing that dodge, provided that the dodge has no negative modifiers on it. And now here are these elves bearing down on the ball carrier. Destro to the right of the ball carrier, marking the number 16 lineman. Baroness dodged into position to mark the ball carrier from behind. Good dodge by Hawk. The blodger in the left wide zone. He's in position to mark the 2 undead players to the left of the ball carrier. Now a 2-die blitz on the ball carrier. Got the pal he was looking for. Got a great stun out of it as well. Ball's going to bounce on the hands of the Witch Elf. It's a 5 plus to catch. He won't. I can't imagine he'll spend the reroll, but maybe he's feeling himself here. Ball's going to bounce behind to the 8. Needed a pal on this and got it. And got an armor break as well. The Ghouls not only have an AV of 8 plus, but they also do not have regen. They're the only player on the undead team that do not have regen. Feeling himself gross. Turn 10 to the Dead Poets. Football says coward's way to live. Come down to 50 to 66% chance. Like an orc. Duke will rush into position to get a tackle zone on the ball now. Hendricks will come in to do the same here for the Dead Poets on turn 10. Did I block? It's a pal here on Zamet. Good injury here. Oof. Oof. Second removal for the Dead Poets. Whoa, this has to have been a misclick. This has to have been a misclick. He's got to re-roll it. He can't lose this turn. Decided not to. Decided not to. Thinks he's in a pretty good spot here. We'll see. 5+ dodge by the Mummy. Had to have been a misclick, which is unfortunate. You can see by the pause there. It's almost certain that he was like, oh man, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh boy, if I had a nickel for every time I've done that. Turn 10, back to the real American. Is it only turn 10? Well, that wasn't the 5+ dodge. That was a 2+ dodge. Tries to go after the ball here. I don't know, man. I think he could have. I might have spent a reroll on that catch. What, a 5+? That's a 1/3. So with the reroll, that's like 55, right? Something like that. Like, why not? I'd go for it. You got 3. 5 seconds left on the clock for the Real American Heroes. Oh, I meant on the previous turn. Welcome to the stream, Moob. Real American Heroes back into bonus time here. 3+ dodge. Going for the ball pickup. To a 3+ pickup as well. Gets the ball in the hands of Duke, the runner. Down to 1 minute, 5 seconds left on the bonus block. Plenty of movement left with this runner. But has to dodge out of this space. It would be a 2+ dodge without the dodge skill. There it is. Oh, rushed. You know the rules. You know the rules. Tried to rush the ball here. Spent another reroll. Failed the first rush. Didn't learn and failed the second rush. Well done, Boot Polish. Rush has failed 900% of the time in the game of Blood Bowl. Covered the ball by Duke. Failed the second rush after spending 2 rerolls on that turn. Real American Heroes down to 2 rerolls. Down to 1 reroll for the game. That's right. That's right. Mid-pitch is really well kept, but the closer you get to the end zone, like, they don't even bother to cut the grass. It's all hilly. Like, you're gonna trip and fall. Gets a foul here on Shipwreck. Doesn't break armor. Way back at the line of scrimmage. Dead Poets started this half on offense. They've lost control of the ball. The ball's on the ground now on their own 18-yard line. Mummy blitz. Gets a push out of this against the number 9 lineman, Flint. He's on the Dead Poets 4-yard line. Almost the entirety of both teams now on the Dead Poets half of the pitch. Two-die block on the Witch Elf. Get a push out of this. Dead Poets down to 4 minutes, 50 seconds on the bonus clock. Going for the 3+ pickup, works out in the hands of Jones, the number 9 Ghoul Runner. Where do you go? Deciding to move forward. Oh boy, I'd be scared out of my mind. Takes a 1-die block against the Baroness. This will be a both standing result unless he spends the reroll. Under 4 minutes now on the bonus clock. 2-die block against Flint. Gets a knockdown here. Why not take the 2-die block before the 1-die? Turn 11 back to the Real American Heroes. After a shallow kick and a real aggressive defense right off the blitz kickoff event, this ball has remained on the Dead Poets half of the pitch, and it has been hard fought. The Real American Heroes were able to recover this ball briefly by their runner. Tried to rush, failed to rush, and lost control of the ball. Failed to dodge here. Spends the reroll. Now the Real American Heroes have no rerolls left for the game. Duke, as a reminder, is here on the 14-yard line, even though he appears on the 20. This is a bug. This is a regression in the current version of the game. The older I get, for whatever reason, the harder I'm finding this. Oh no. Went for the 1-die blitz and had no rerolls. Rolled that skull. And that's going to be a turnover. Turn 12 now, back to the Dead Poets. We're going to get a knockdown out of this upcoming block. Tried to go after the ball carrier, it didn't work. I think I might have felt more comfortable maybe trying to reset my defense. I have the speed advantage, I have the edge advantage. But I don't know. I'm also not at the top of the leaderboard. Ball's going to advance across the line of scrimmage for the first time in this half to the opposing 4-yard line in the right wide zone. And some natural protection on the ball carrier. However, Flint is behind these two mummies. I imagine he'll get blocked down at some point. There it is. Got the pal on Flint. .29 seconds left on the clock here. Dead Poets can reset their offense, get this going, and try to tie this ball game. 2-die blitz on Shipwreck will be a knockdown. It's going to free up Thane, the number 13 lineman, to protect the ball carrier. He needs to get some protection behind the ball carrier as well. Gets a push on the Baroness. Takes another block, and this is going to be another push on the Baroness. You see a third time's the charm here. Oh, he's just shy. He's just shy of the ball carrier. Now he gets the POW on Scarlet this time. And then reposition the ball carrier. Good turn here for the Dead Poets. They're not quite in scoring position. They're a couple of spaces away. If they can break away from this defense, they'll be sitting pretty. Turn 12, final turn of the third quarter. Real American Heroes currently in the lead, in danger of this game becoming tied 1-1. Yeah, Zartan, good dodge to get back into the safety position. Try to get a crack at the Ghoul. Can still be marked by Thane, however. This Ghoul is a level 1 Ghoul, so only has the dodge skill, does not have block. Under a minute to play for the Real American Heroes. They only have 52 seconds left on the bonus clock for the rest of the game. So the turns are going to have to get more efficient here in these final 5 turns. Good dodge to get Hawk. Another blodger back in the drive. He falls back to the safety position as well. Still has Duke to stand up. Still has Destro to stand up as well. And of course, Scarlet. 2+ dodge by Scarlet. Looks like he might try to blitz Destro into position. There it is. 2-die blitz. Failed to stand up Shipwreck as well. It's probably because he wanted to try to dodge Shipwreck out. Turn 13 to the Dead Poets. Fourth and final quarter of this game underway now. Dead Poets are staring down 2 blodgers. Three-die block on. Flint will be a push. SP are doing a good job of getting these 3-dies with these mummies. 3-dies make these blocks a little safer, and then you can ensure that you're getting that mighty blow usage. Breaks armor, gets a stun on Flint. Pretty good stun here, I think. It's another player that's out for a turn, means we'll probably be out for the rest of the drive. Not going to run down pitch. It says it's going to cage up on his own 6-yard line. Has 1 mummy on that cage. All done. It's good to have that guard player on the cage. It means even if somebody tries a desperate card break, a cage break, at least from that direction, that that player will lend the assist. It's not even necessarily on the wrong corner of the cage. Most of the opposing team is back here. Two-die block against Snake Eyes. Behind the ball now. Gets a push. Moves over to get the two-die block on the Baroness. Gets a pal here. 8+ breaks armor. Can't break armor there. And that may be the turn for the Dead Poets. Turn 13 for the Real American Heroes. 4 turns to try to stop this score. They'll get another player regroups. Probably try to bring Snake Eyes back onto the defense as well. Shipwreck will be able to pull back. Or at least reposition. So if he tries for the two-die block instead against number 4, if he does, I wager that might be a blitz. Duke standing up. Oh, it looks like he's going to blitz Hendricks. Or maybe that's just going to be a mark on Hendricks. He's going to dodge Destro back. I don't know. Under a minute for the Real American Heroes. No rerolls left, and only 45 seconds left on the bonus clock. Good dodge. Scarlet pulls back into the defense. Plus dodge to a rush. Takes a mark on Cobain. So he marks the number 5, White. Marks the number 8, Blodger, the Ghoul Runner. They're both behind the balls. They're trying to keep them out of the drive. And now the blitz in the front right corner of the cage. It's going to be a push. Pushes that front right corner off the cage and repositions the blitzer, but now the Ghoul Runner free to get back in on the cage. Real American Heroes down to 22 seconds left on the bonus clock. Dodge, dodge. Gets the Baroness back in the drive. 12 seconds. He's going to leave Snake Eyes marking this blitzer? Maybe so. Nope. Try to get him back in the drive as well. Going to try to shut down this offense. 3 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Real American Heroes. Dead Poets, 3 turns to score. Their current cage has 2 zombies on it. The zombies only have an MA of 4. And they are staring down a whole bunch of blodgers right now. Can't feel totally safe shifting over in the right wide zone either, as Dead Fred is elected to pull these players back, as he should, in my opinion. And if the Dead Poets move laterally to the right, I think that's going to make the defense more effective. But still in a pretty difficult spot here. Really just needs to open up a hole. Can certainly do that with the Mummy. Could even do it with the Ghoul Runner. That might be a better option here. Get that Ghoul Runner to move Hawk out of the way. Or someone out of the way. Good action order by the Dead Poets. Taking marks without die rolls first. Trying to force Dead Fred to roll dice. He has no rerolls. Yeah, there's that rush blitz with the mummy. It's only going to get a dodge push out of this. Watchers are tough. Only the PAL knocks him down. It still opens up a hole. Oh, I don't know if he wants to take... Oh, this is so scary. This is scary. I'm going to take a mark with the other mummy. Marks these two lodgers in front of the cage. Gotta... Ooh, that feels a little far. Is he going to rush into here? Maybe he doesn't rush. Maybe he just goes here. Dead Poet's back on the bonus clock. 1 minute 48 seconds remaining. yeah, it looks like S. Beaver decided that felt a little far for him as well. Had to risk the 2 rushes to pull that Cool Runner back. Alright, so now in the right wide zone on the 14-yard line. The opposing 14-yard line, the Dead Poets in possession of this ball. Lots of marked elves. Failed a 3+ dodge. Spends the reroll to succeed to get another corner on the cage. And that'll be it. Turn 14 for the Real American Heroes. They've got some heroing to do here in turn 14. As Beaver has been able to effectively carve out this bit of the pitch for himself right here. A 2+ dodge in the front right corner of the cage. He's got to do something to stop the score, or else S. Beaver's absolutely going to do it. Looks like it might be... Oh, boy, I don't know. Takes a mark on... who's this? Cobain. In the back right corner of the cage. What's the plan? What's the plan, Sam? Sam and plan don't rhyme. 22 seconds on the clock here. 2+ dodge to a 3+ dodge to a 1 die blitz. Rush blitz into a push. Oh, all right. That's going to be the turn. 3 seconds left on the clock. Oh, gets another play in position. That is it. The Real American Heroes out of bonus time. Turn 15, back to the Dead Poets. They are on the opposing 12. 2-die Mummy Blitz on Duke. Gets a pal. 7+. Breaks armor. Halfling armor. Got the injury. Well done. Got a Kaz. That's more SPP on that mummy. And the apothecary was spent, and the apothecary just a terrible guy. Just a terrible guy. So serious injury, he'd be out for the rest of the match. 2-die block here. My Destro is a pal, or on Destro is a pal. He stopped running. He stopped running. Now he's just here forever. Remember, Cobain is here. This blitzer is here. Two die block on the number 3 blitzer. Gets a pow here as well. That's the blodger. Needed that pow. He got it. And broke armor. What a fantastic armor break for the Dead Poets. Can walk this ball in to tie the ball game. There it goes. 1-1. Very well played by S. Beamer and the Dead Poets. Hey, it is a Dryad. Hey! I love these cheerleader animations. It's so great. So great. Still not going to get back his KO'd lineman there, but good score. Good score on turn 15. The Real American Heroes are going to have 2 turns to try to win this game. They can absolutely do it. Setting up in a column defense here. The Dead Poets do not want these elves getting behind him. They'll have 2 turns. They'll be down 3 players. It'll be 11v8 on the pitch in the Dead Poets' favor. Dead Poets still with 2 rerolls, but the Real American Heroes have none. Three-man defensive line. Real American Heroes might just set up with a 3-man line of their own. Real American Heroes setting up with a 5-man line, really split apart here. 2 at center pitch, 1 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. 2 Witch Elves over in the left wide zone, paired up with 2 Blodger Blitzers. Shipwreck, the number 6 lineman back to receive, does not have Duke anymore. Duke's been injured. He's losing a point of MA out of that. Dead Poets are going to kick over here for sure. They're not too risky. Well, nope. The ball's going to end up. The ball's going to end up at the Real American Heroes 8-yard line, just outside of the left wide zone. Turn 15 now. They've got to end this turn in scoring position. Any way you slice it, they've got some dodging to do this turn. 1 die blitz. Oh my goodness. 1 die blitz got the knockdown on Cobain. Sends Hawk downfield. The number 2 blitzer sent him downfield. There's that dodge. It's going to hand off to a blodger. No, going to hand off to a witch elf. Oh, yeah, she's a blodger. Good call. Hands off to the blodger witch elf. Baroness gets that extra point of movement as opposed to the other witch elf. And there's that good dodge. Second good dodge here. The Baroness in possession of the ball on the opposing 14-yard line at mid-pitch now. They'll want to get another player through here. There it is. Well done. We'll try for a fourth. I'm surprised he's not bringing Destro over. Ooh, there's the fourth. 5 seconds left on the clock. No bonus time. He rushed. Hasn't learned the rush lesson. Tried to rush Scarlet the Witch Elf forward, failed the rush, and that's a turnover. So he'll have to make do with what he has. 3 blodgers downfield. Dead Poets are going to pile in here, take a mark on the Baroness. Three, 4. We've got a 2-die on the ball carrier. I don't think the column defense was a bad idea, but with only 2 turns left, he knows that Dead Fred needs to book it. So I think maybe setting these columns up a little further back might have been a good play. Got the pow on the blitz even. Wow. Good blitz here. Doesn't break armor. Trying to get this in the hands of Joplin. Doesn't spend the reroll, but now, I mean, why not? You have 2 left for the rest of the game. I would have. Doesn't spend the reroll. The ball's gonna scatter to the 16. Dead Poets trying to draw this game out. Two-die block on the line, gets a POW against Flint. A 3-die block on the line here, looking for some casualty SPP. Spends a reroll into a push. Will nobody learn? Will nobody learn? Gets an extra tackle zone here for this Witch Elf dodge. Has Dead Fred prayed to Nuffle? That's the question. That's the question. Dodge. Dodge to a pickup. Dodge. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do miracles happen? Dead Fred's going to spend the majority of his time trying to figure out how to make this as safe as possible, but he has no bonus time left. He's already a quarter of the way through the clock. 1 minute, 24 seconds left in this game. He needs to figure out his action order, figure it out quickly, and then execute on it. The clock never stops in Blood Bowl 3. Minute 5 on the clock. He's got to make something happen. He's got to make something happen. $50 left in the ball game. He's quickly trying to crunch the numbers, figure out how to do this. No rerolls left. 40 seconds in the game. Can he eke out a win here? 28 seconds left on the clock. He's got to do something soon. 19 seconds. Uphill block on Cobain's not going to cut it. That's going to be a turnover, and this game's going to end in a draw. Well played by both coaches. The real American heroes are going to move into first place after that draw. Tried to get a win there. Didn't quite work out. Well played, both coaches. The real American heroes now in first place. 1-1-0 here after week 2. The Dead Poets in second place. They are behind by the total number of touchdowns scored. They are currently in second place. Well played by both coaches in this game. Boy, what a great pair of games we had. And I love oh wait, we should look at the schedule, shouldn't we? I love this game so much, man. It's so much fun. I especially like these bash versus edge matchups just because they're so different, right? Like in a fighting game, it's like watching like a zoner versus a grappler. One really wants to get in and one really wants to stay away and kind of oppress you with that just stuffing you out, right? It's very similar here in Blood Bowl. Coming up next will be one more game to be aired here in week number 2, and that'll be tomorrow night. That's Cenozoic Park versus the juxtaposed Juggernauts, Nick Satan versus War Horsemen. That is Lizards versus Chaos Renegades. That will be tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. And then after that, we're going to get to schedule in week 3. 9 weeks in the Spike Magazine Trophy, and that is before the cut to top 4, and then plenty more action after that. We have the Dungeon Bowl after that, and then of course our championship, the Blood Bowl. But when week 3 starts to get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club, here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch our previous games on our YouTube channel. This game's so much fun. You cannot watch this game and say, you know what, I don't want to play that. That didn't look fun to me. It's so much fun. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and you can play it in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.